To a fantastic realm of magic and wonder, where a young hero strives against ancient evil. Lead him on a perilous quest to restore an amulet of great power and defeat the dark sorcerer who rules the land. Come to a world of wizards and demons, of bright steel and dark magic, of heroic deeds and base treacheries. Thea's Quest.
Use the joystick to maneuver the fighter plane. Hold down the trigger for continuous firing. Use the panel buttons to roll the plane to the right or left, or to change the direction of fire. In the skies of every nation on the planet, a fierce battle is about to begin. A ruthless alien fleet plans to conquer the Earth. Their purpose, to make it their home. Their only obstacle.
Loading complete.
Badlands. We were living a quiet life when one day, for no reason, my wife and my children were killed in cold blood, and I was wounded, unable to help. Why this? Why us? Why? I won't let them get away with it. I'll get every last one of them. Badlands. We were living a quiet life when one day
He is called Bega, last of the Earth Warriors. Bega alone must face the alien Varga, who has cut a path of destruction across the continents. I, Luna, can bring Bega friends like Joe, who can provide a barrier shield. Or Sony.
I'll try Bega.
Loading complete.
He is called Vega, last of the Earth Warriors.
I am Vega. It is my final task to save this planet from the alien Varga.
And I am Luna. I can lead Vega to fabulous powers. Catch me, warrior. Catch me. Catch me. 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 He is called Vega, last of the Earth Warriors. Vega alone must face the alien Varga, who has cut a path of destruction across the continents. I, Luna, can bring Vega friends like Joe, who can provide a barrier shield. Or
Cliffhanger. the game that keeps you on the edge of your toes. By controlling the joystick and the action button, you determine the fate of Cliff, a lovable outcast in his quest to rescue one beautiful, breathtaking lady. But one mistake, and you've blown it. Will Count Draco strike the first blow? Will the princess be forced to marry someone she can't stand? Will Cliff get stuck in a trap door for the rest of his life? Or will our inventive international hero leap to the rescue, only to be caught hanging around again? Whether Cliff continues his fight to give hope to the helpless is in your hands. Good luck.
Loading complete.
Cliffhanger, the game that keeps you on the edge of your toes. Jump! 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 Jump!
Space Ace, defender of justice, truth, and the...
Oren Miller, a gigantic artificial planet treasured by Esh, the wicked emperor.
Loading complete.
Dragon's Lair, a fantasy... Dragon's Lair, a fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest.
Loading complete. Loading complete.
あ
大してやつだ。あ、全然ダメだ。
情け無用。戦闘開始。 情け無用戦闘開始
しならば立つのだ。
情け無用、戦闘開始。
First preliminary match. Enter contestants. Ready? Fight!
Loading complete. Loading complete.
Terry versus Yamazaki.
Loading complete.
Versus him. Final fight. My versus Terry. Final fight. versus Amazon. Final fight. Fight.
Loading complete. Loading complete. Loading complete. Loading complete. Loading complete. Loading complete.
We begin with even more twist in the investigation into the bag of cocaine found inside the White House, one of the most high-profile buildings in the world. Story keeps changing. First, it got leaked that the cocaine was in the library, that's in the residence. Then, the White House suggested it was found in a heavily traveled area in the West Wing where many visitors come through. But now, this third change, Fox is told that it was found in a cubby by the West Executive entrance, not far from the Situation Room, where the nation's most sensitive secrets are tracked every hour of every day. That's hardly an area where the average Joe walks by. The Secret Service is reviewing all cameras and access logs of staff and regular visitors, and they are expected to conclude their investigation early next week. President Biden, as he's done all this week, is again refusing to Not a word. Now House Oversight Chairman James Comer is demanding more details about the cocaine found. He wants a briefing with the Secret Service and fired off this scathing letter reading, quote, the presence of illegal drugs in the White House is unacceptable and a shameful moment in the White House's history. Congress funds White House security procedures, and the Secret Service has a responsibility to maintain effective safety protocol. Okay, Julie, so we have the case of the walking cocaine baggie. First, the library.
Well put. I like that.
First, the library, not in the residence, but under the residence. Then we're told West Executive lobby cubbies, and then we're told actually in a secure area near the Situation Room. Why can't they get the story straight?
You know what's most disturbing about this is that Karine Jean-Pierre lied to the American people yesterday, because there is no way in hell that she did not know the actual whereabouts of a cocaine baggie in the White House. So when she came out and described it as being in the West Wing, where it's highly trafficked by visitors, and then, of course, the only answer she would answer was that the Biden family was not home that weekend. They were not in the White House. They were in Camp David for the second weekend in a row, and that it happened sometime between Friday and Sunday where many people in and out, visitors were in and out of the White House. So she was dodging. That's called defensive answering. And I know a liar when I see one, because my kids lie to me every day and I catch them. And when you ask them a question, they defer. Yes. They're lying to you. She lied to us, and I felt like she was lying, and today now we know she's lying. So if she's lying about this, what else are they lying about? They are lying, and the truth is going to come out.
Yeah, so let's take a look. There's some Karine Jean-Pierre dodges. We put together a montage. Take a listen.
So what's preventing a visitor from bringing in anthrax or something that's not magnetic into the White House?
No, look, Weijia, I totally understand the question, but it is under investigation.
Does the White House support the prosecution of this individual?
I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals from here.
Would the president be satisfied with, sir, this is a busy room and we found some cocaine. We don't know who brought it.
So let's see what the Secret Service says, right?
How determined is the president to get to the bottom of who brought illegal drugs into the White House?
The president thinks it is incredibly important to get to the bottom of this.
Emily, we are 1 hour and 56 minutes away from a White House press briefing. Karine Jean-Pierre better be in her office on the phone with Secret Service. Better yet, go march down to their office, which is right there in your building, and get some answers, because that is totally unacceptable. Get your story straight.
Well, that would be if there was a standard of excellence that actually was implemented in the White House. We haven't seen one thus far, so I'm not holding my breath for that, Kaylee, unfortunately. I will say the only thing that is making a larger mockery of this, other than simply the presence of an illicit substance in the White House, is how Karine Jean-Pierre is handling this, and what is dangerous.
Lord Ricketts, lovely to have you in the studio. Thank you for coming in. So it feels right, doesn't it, on the kind of eve, if you like, of this visit by President Biden to the UK to look a little bit about that relationship between the UK and the US. How healthy is it right now?
I think it's good, and I think the Windsor framework lifted a cloud from it. President Joe Biden has always had strong attachments in Ireland. I think that was a big factor for him. The idea the Good Friday Agreement might have been undermined. That's out of the way now. He's seen Prime Minister Sunak several times. The UK is a leading ally on Ukraine, which is vital. It's an important friend for the US on China as well. So I think the relationship is in good shape.
That's interesting about the important friend on China as well. Do you feel that perhaps Rishi Sunak is taking decisions to appeal to the US to try and make sure that alliance is healthy?
I think he's very conscious that we've got to have a relationship with the Americans on economic security, things like supply chains and AI and those new technology issues, as good as the national security relationship. And so when he was in Washington, he had this Atlantic Declaration, which set out a whole lot of undertakings to work more closely with the Americans. Australians, Japanese, are all very uncomfortable with this. We've all of us, apart from the Americans, signed up to the convention, which means we don't produce or stockpile or use these weapons. I mean, they are indiscriminate weapons, of course. I think we do owe it to the Ukrainians to understand why they need these weapons. You know, this offensive that they've launched, there's a lot riding on it. If it stagnates, bogs down, the risk is this war will just continue. They haven't had the level of precision munitions from the West they wanted. We haven't given them the fighter aircraft they wanted. And they see this as a potential game changer. This, admittedly horrible weapon is designed to use against dug-in, entrenched forces. And as I say, if they can't break through in this fight, which is going on their territory, this is weapons for use on their territory, then the risk is it will continue. So.
Lord Ricketts, lovely to have you.
Trump was in the White House.
And what do you think would have happened?
Well, I don't know. I think the alliance would have been all over the place, because I don't think we could have trusted Trump to take a sound decision, on where Allied interests lay.
That's very interesting. It's always difficult to frame this question.
In terms of the military tactics and strategies, where you can actually fight back and kick back with the risky and dangerous cluster munitions. Yes, we're being very honest about that, but also them being used in military-to-military operations and saving civilian lives, which today are just being destroyed and taken by the Russian army, although they are
loading complete
conventional, unconventional weapons, although they are using banned weapons. So I think that's the reasoning behind the request and behind the granting of the request.
Welcome back to the programme. Now, NATO leaders meet in Vilnius this week, and top of the agenda will be what sort of security guarantees they can give Ukraine. President Zelensky Demolish fist. Country to join the alliance once the war is over. Biden's decision to supply cluster bombs to Ukraine could expose divisions within NATO. Washington director of Human Rights Watch, Sarah Yeager, condemned President Biden's decision.
So when I hear the argument that the Russians are using them anyway, it sounds to me like a race to the bottom, and that is deeply concerning, especially for a country, two countries,
Loading
Ukraine
complete.
and the United States, that believe in international law and humanity, even in times of the worst wars.
Well, over this half hour, we're going to discuss the importance of that NATO summit. And after 6:30, we'll consider the state and special relationship with Joe Biden's visit to the UK. But let's talk first about this big NATO gathering. And I am joined by Dr. Jamie Shea, who's a former NATO official. Good evening, Jamie.
Hi there, Carol. Good evening to you too.
Good to have you with us. Dalibor Rohak is a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute and is also with us. Hello, Dalibor.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you with us. We're hoping to speak to the Ukrainian MP Lesia Vasilyenko shortly. Let me ask you, first of all, Jamie, about that decision by the US to supply cluster bombs to Ukraine. Clearly, the UK and many other members of NATO are signatories to that international treaty banning their use. Is that going to make life difficult at this big summit?
I don't think it will, Carol, even though many allies, as you say, won't be particularly happy with this decision. I don't think the US is entirely happy with the decision either, because it's been on President Biden's desk for several weeks, even months, and it's been a difficult decision for the US to take. But Jake Sullivan, the US National Security Advisor, has been in touch with all of the allies before this decision was announced, so that they know exactly what the US is going to do, why the US is going to do it. And most allies have said that, OK, we have signed the convention, but we can understand the US reasons. So I think the US has sort of prepared the ground carefully. It's not a nice decision to have to take, but I think the US is justifying it by the fact that the Ukrainians need to be able to prosecute their offensive. They need these weapons because they're running out of artillery quite quickly. The Russians have laid enormous minefields and fortifications, which is hampering the Ukrainian advance. And these cluster munitions will give the Ukrainians a chance to break through. The US has also laid down some pretty sort of stringent conditions, Carol, on how these weapons can be used. Obviously, nowhere near civilian areas. Only in designated combat areas. Ukraine also will have to record exactly where these weapons are used, which will facilitate the cleanup operation afterwards. And the US is supplying Ukraine with the most modern version, which at least technically speaking should have the lowest failure or dud rate. So it's not an easy decision, but I don't think it's going to wreck the summit because clearly the US has prepared the ground with the allies beforehand.
Dalibor, what do you make of the significance of this US decision on cluster bombs?
I think there certainly is pressure on the Biden administration to ensure that the Ukrainian offensive leads to favorable outcomes, and many observers about Ukrainian progress being steady but relatively slow. It is the legalistic objections against the use of cluster munition by Ukrainians, which is to say that Ukrainians are defending their country, and if Russians don't want to have cluster munitions dropped on their heads, they do have the option of just leaving Ukraine and leaving it alone. So I think there is a certain hubris, certain arrogance among Western observers who, in a very sort of high-handed fashion, are denouncing this decision to supply Ukrainians with what they need to continue in their counteroffensive. One wonders whether this decision, which does present a certain form of escalation on the US side, does not go hand in hand with a sort of language that will come out of the Vilnius summit that will be also quite disappointing to Ukrainians about the long-term perspectives of joining the alliance. But I think we'll have to wait and see for that decision. I think that would indeed be a disappointment.
Well, Jamie, let me bring you in on that point, because this is going to be the big issue, isn't it, at this summit? President Zelensky leading